So like the majority of the audience in the event, we don't use AI for targeting at the moment, but AI, investor targeting itself is like a black hole in terms of time, because we're looking at who are our current owners, who might own us, and it's much more difficult to understand who is out there who doesn't own us. And we have an overlay at Imperial Brands in that we're a tobacco company. So there are a number of funds that actively exclude tobacco investment, and we have to be aware we don't spend time looking at them if they don't actually want to own tobacco. But within certain institutional investors, there are funds that do own tobacco and some that exclude tobacco. So there's a level of detail there that we can't just completely ignore certain institutional investors. When we think about AI and what it could do for institutional investor targeting, we could look back to the iPhone in 2008, and at that time, nobody used the iPhone, and we all used maps to get around. And now we can actually use a map on our iPhone, and it's down to a granular level. It can take me from A to B very easily. So it would be fantastic if, when I look forward in terms of investor targeting, AI could do that map for us as well, and we have that level of detail. But clearly, it's in the future, and we want to understand our investors down to their fund level and who's actually making active decisions on those investments, and whether or not we have that level of data even available before we even start to analyse that data. That's a different question. So we start with our CRM system. As I said, we start with the investors that are already investing in us. They're easier because they've made the decision to invest, but they may well be able to invest more, or different funds within those institutions may be able to invest more. So it's very important for us to understand that. And then we use the CRM system to understand which investors are invested in our peer group as well, or in other FMCG companies, fast-moving consumer goods companies. Who else could we target to invest in us? And that's much more difficult to understand, and that data is a little bit more out of date compared to the data that we have for ourselves as well. So that from there we would then look at, if it pulls up potential institutional investors, I'll go and look at the internet and try to understand those particular investors, themselves, and what's their style of management. We are a high dividend company. Are they high yielding? They focus on yield. That's the sort of investor that we would look for. But it is a black hole in terms of time. We also use corporate advisors, and corporate advisors will often focus on peers. I'm an ex-fund manager, and I understand that once I had made a decision about investing in a particular stock, then it's very difficult for me to switch to its peer, because I've had to defend that decision throughout the process with my colleagues. So we need to start talking to investors before they've made that decision, and that's the harder thing to do, to understand who is ripe to invest in Imperial Brands that hasn't made that step yet. We are an FMCG company, and we're focused on the consumer. And so we're not a tech company, so we're not effectively data-driven. But having said that, within our company there are pockets of data that are crucial, and as I said, understanding the consumer is crucial. So when our board started asking about, where is AI in your annual report and accounts, that's a very interesting question. Let me go and find out where it is. And as I might expect, when we're looking at data from consumer, we're looking at marketing, they are looking at using AI tools already, but we don't have an overarching AI plan, because we are not an AI technology company. But it is very important, because as you want to understand more, you're collecting more and more data, and it's crucial that we have tools that are able to analyze that data and give us good results.